أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا ومولانا محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه ومن اهتدى بهداه إلى يوم الدين. Amma ba'd. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome to the house of dua. Alhamdulillah allazi hadana li hadha wa ma kunna linahtadiya lawla hadana Allah. All the praises for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has guided us thus far, for without him we couldn't guide ourselves. Alhamdulillah allazi ata'amana wa sakana wa ja'alana minal muslimin. Alhamdulillah allazi ahyana ba'da ma amatana wa ilayhi nushur. Allahumma fatira samawati wal ard. Aliman ghaibi wa shahada. Anta tahkumu baina ibadika fima kanu fihi yakhtalifun. All the praises for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who provides our sustenance in food and drink and who has made us Muslims. And all the praises for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who by his mercy has woken us up from our sleep this morning and to whom we shall return for accountability. O Allah, the originator of the heaven and earth, the one who has final judgment over matters in which your slaves differ. Ya Allah, we thank you for another opportunity, for another day. We ask you to make today better for us than yesterday, just as we ask you to make tomorrow better for us than today. By your mercy, we have woken up this morning in goodness, and by your mercy, we shall come to the end of today also in goodness. May Allah increase us in goodness. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, but when it comes to goodness, many of us go out of the way to seek our goodness from those whom we call our godfathers, either godfathers in institution or godfathers in human beings. There are people we look up to, people we think that we owe our loyalty to because in our times of need and difficulties, they will provide us the necessary assistance and the necessary needs. Those who are in politics, they have those they consider to be their godfathers. Every now and then, you hear them say, we are still loyal. Loyal to whom? There are people in other aspects of society that people pay loyalty to just because of what they think they have to gain from such people. In a society where merit is not considered as a yardstick for judging success, that's ultimately what happens. Your well-being in the society depends on how connected you are. And this is wrong. That is why people take laws into their hand to do what is wrong, hoping that there are others behind them who will take them out of such difficulties. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, there's no denying the fact that in some circumstances, some people may be of help to us. But let me tell you the truth. Such help will not be possible if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not make it possible. And indeed, if you must seek help, your help, immediate and ultimate, comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You need to knock at the door of Allah for all your needs. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, we should always say every day, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. You alone we worship, and you alone we seek our help from. Even if another person were to be able to help you, that was made so because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to pass that help to you through that person. In several verses of the Quran, Allah says, وَمَا تَشَاءُونَ إِلَّا أَن يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ رَبُّ الْعَالَمِينَ. It is not you who wish it first. It was wished by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be so. He only used the medium of an individual or groups or institutions or ideas to bring it into existence for you. For you to discount Allah, therefore, out of your needs, you are making a mistake. Those of you who are having allegiances to individuals or groups or organizations or secret societies, hoping that that's where your help will come from, you are making a mistake. You are making a mistake. That's why we are bringing to you today verses 105 and 110 of Surah Al-Baqarah. In verse 105 of Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala declares, Ma yawaddu lazina kafaru min ahlil kitab walal mushrikin ayunazala alaykum min khairin min rabbikum wallahu yatasu birahmatihi man yasha wallahu zul fadlil azim. To you who are believers, it is not the desire or the wish of those to whom the earlier revelations were sent, the Jews and the Christians, and it is not the desire or the wish of those who are idol worshippers that goodness should come to you from your Lord. It is not their wish, it is not their hope, it is not their desire that you should do well like they do well. The fact of the matter is, Wallahu yatasu birahmatihi man yasha. Allah select whoever He wants to select for His favor. Wallahu zul fadlin azim. Allah is the custodian and the owner of favor, and He grants to whoever He wants to grant. Those of you who think that without an individual, without an institution, without some group of people, without a secret society, I will not survive, you are making a mistake. They cannot help you. It's only Allah will help you, and He can only pass that help to you through whoever means He prefers. This is the reality of life. Do you think that if human beings were to decide, Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam, who was an orphan and from a family that was not so privileged in Makkah, do you think he would have become a messenger? Do you think that Maryam alayha salam, the mother of Jesus Christ, would have been privileged to be the mother of one of the most noblest of all Allah's messengers if it were human beings that were to decide? And do you think that if it were the wish of the angels, Adam would have been given the privilege to be a vicegerent on the planet? The answer is no. The answer is no. Allah does whatever He wants to do in His throne. The angels told Allah, why are you sending a man to the planet when we are here praising you? We are sufficient for you. Allah told them, I know what you don't know. Don't worry about it. From nowhere, Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam, who grew up as an orphan, who had no privileges like other free-born members of the society in his time. From nowhere, Allah says, Ekera, Ekera bismi rabbika allazi khalaqa, khalaqal insana min alaq. Ekra wa rabbuka li akramu allazi alama bil kalam. Alama li insana ma lam ya'lam. Read in the name of your Lord. Read in the name of your Lord, who teaches man by the pen. From that moment, the prophet became the most knowledgeable creature Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had created. Maryam alayhi salam, from nowhere, the angel of Allah appeared to her and told her, I have good news to you from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of a Messiah who was going to be Isa ibn Maryam, Jesus Christ. And what was her response? How is that going to happen? When no man has touched me, because man and woman need to meet before a child could come out. What did Allah say? Allah does not consider all you are considering when He wants to give favor to whoever He wants to give favor to. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, stop paying loyalty to human beings like you. Stop thinking that they are the one who can make or unmake your life. No, your only authority who makes you and who can make and unmake your life is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the one you need to pay loyalty to. That's the one you need to worship every day. That's why we say, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. In this verse we are bringing to you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, the believers, it's not the wish of those to whom the earlier revelations were sent, the Jews and the Christians. It's not the wish of the mushrikun of Makkah, the idol worshippers of today and yesterday, that goodness should come to you. No. It's Allah that makes goodness available to you. You can carry the argument further. It's not the wish of people also that something bad should happen to you. If Allah does not allow it to happen, it will not happen. So all the temptations and trials we are going through couldn't happen unless by the knowledge of Allah. Now let me tell you something. Do you actually think, even though Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has identified the mushrikun and the Ahlul Kitab in this verse, even those who are in the same religion with you, even your brothers who are from the same family, you think if they were to decide who should receive goodness, they will point to you? They will say, no, you are the best among us, just take it. Ask Yusuf alayhi salam how that feels like. Was it the desire of the brothers of Yusuf alayhi salam that he should be where he came to be? The answer is no. Actually, it is their perception of the fact that their father loved him more than them, or that he was likely to be greater than them. That's why they conspired against him. That's the reality of the situation. This is what we find in today's world. Even those who are of the same faith with you, or of the same family, or of the same country, is it they who decide your well-being and your ultimate success? The answer is no. Allah is the grantor of ultimate success. That's what this ayah is teaching us. Wallahu yahtasu bi rahmatihi man yasha. Do you want that success? Do you want that favor from Allah? Then there is something you need to do. There is something you need to do. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has stated in verse 110 of this surah, wa aqimu salat wa atu zakat. Establish your salah and render your zakat. Wa ma tuqaddimu li anfusikum min khairin tajiduhu indallah. Inna Allaha bima ta'maluna basir. Whatever you send ahead now, before you meet Allah on the day of accountability, you definitely will meet it with Allah. The reward of it will be preserved for you. In Surah Al-Muzammil, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala expanded it by telling you, وَمَا تُقَدِّمُوا لِأَنفُسِكُم مِّن خَيْرٍ تَجِدُوهُ عِندَ اللَّهِ هُوَ خَيْرًا وَأَعْظَمَ أَجْرًا وَاسْتَغْفِرُوا اللَّهَ وَاسْتَغْفِرُوا اللَّهَ وَاسْتَغْفِرُوا اللَّهَ إِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ rahim. Whatever good you do now while you are still alive, hoping that Allah will reward you, definitely Allah will reward you with that which is better than what you have done now. That is the reality of the situation. He will grant you Jannah. Your ultimate success, therefore, comes from Allah. In Surah An-Nisa, chapter 4 of the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ سَنُدْخِلُهُمْ جَنَّاتٍ تَجْرِي مِن تَحْتِهَا الْأَنْهَارُ خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا أَبَدًا وَعْدَ اللَّهِ حَقًّا وَمَنْ أَصْدَقُ مِنَ اللَّهِ قِيلًا. Those who believe in Allah, who also do righteousness, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, He will admit them into Jannah, in which rivers flow. To do so, the promise of Allah that He will do so is sure, it must happen. Who is more truthful than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Who's more truthful? It's not a human being who will make life easy for you. Allah is telling you here that ultimately goodness, whether in this world or in the akhirah, comes from Allah. Comes from Allah. He will not send it through another person. He will not take permission before He grants to you. And again in Surah An-Nisa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, it is not your desire, nor the desire of those to whom the other revelations were sent, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant you His Jannah. No. It is not by your wish and the wish of others that He will grant you goodness in the dunya we live as well. No. Actually, it is out of His mercy that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will admit people into Jannah. And in order for you to qualify for that mercy, you need to believe in Allah and worship Him alone without partners. Therefore, let's put our trust in Allah. Let's ask Him for what we want. Let us worship Him as He ought to be worshipped and expect the best from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you are expecting the best from human beings like you are just planting or you are just laying your foundation on a sandy soil. That foundation will not last. And imagine the amount of investment in effort, in time, in energies, and even in financial contributions, which people make towards those they perceive as their benefactors, their godfathers, their political leaders, in the hope that those leaders will turn around to help them when they achieve their goals. Imagine how many elections are conducted every 4 years or 8 years. And people put in their effort and time and energies and guts, hoping that the winners of those elections We turn their life around for them, for good. But at the end of the day, they get disappointed. Their conditions remain unchanged. What does that tell you? Your help does not come from a man like you. Your help comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The earlier we realize that, the better it is for us. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us the help we need in life. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us and make life easy for us in this world and make our life better in the hereafter when we meet Him. Ya Allah, we are your slaves. Without you, we will not survive. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim minan nabiyyina was-siddiqina wash-shuhada was-salihina wa husna ulaika rafiqa. Ya Allah, guide us to the straight path, the path of those whom you love, not the path of those who have gone astray. The path of those who truly receive your love and found themselves in the highest companion in Jannah. Ya Allah, grant us that status. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. سبحان الله وبحمده سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. الحمد لله.